I stand upon the land of Andalusia, the very soil where once the light of faith raised the towers of knowledge, justice, and truth. This is the same Andalusia that the world today calls Spain. But once, the golden rays of Islam illuminated all of Europe from here. In the 7th century, when Tariq ibn Ziyad crossed the Strait of Gibraltar, he did not fight merely a battle. He laid the foundation of a new civilization. A civilization that brought together faith and intellect, justice and art. A civilization where the pen and the sword walked side by side. Cities like Córdoba, Granada, and Seville became the brightest centers of the world. Their streets were clean, their libraries full, and their mosques alive with learning. The great library of Córdoba held hundreds of thousands of books, while the rest of Europe was still lost in the darkness of ignorance. Here, knowledge was worship, scientists were devout, and the devout were scholars. It was an age when Ibn Rushd taught philosophy, Al-Zahrawi pioneered surgery, and in the mosques, the lessons of astronomy echoed alongside the recitation of the Quran. Muslims were not just rulers, they were builders, reformers, and teachers of humanity. When the call to prayer echoed through the palaces of Granada, it felt as if angels descended from the heavens. And when the voice of the muezzin rose in the stillness of the night, the flames of faith would burn bright in every heart. But behind that light, a shadow was slowly forming, a shadow that foretold the fall of a great nation. Nasim Hijazi writes, "When the sounds of music and luxury replaced the voices of wisdom, when the swords of the warriors began to rust, when the scholars were replaced by jesters and flatterers in royal courts, the darkness of decline crept silently behind the brilliance of Andalusia." That was the time when history witnessed a bitter truth. Nations do not fall by the swords of their enemies. They fall when they lose the faith that made them strong. The first sign of decline is not the sound of the enemy's footsteps. It is the silence that grows inside the hearts of believers. Yet, all was not lost. The call to prayer still rose from the minarets of Granada. Mothers still told their children stories of the conquerors and heroes. And there were still hearts burning with the fire of faith. There were still those who dreamed that one day, once again, the sword of belief would shine in Andalusia and the sun of justice would rise once more. But destiny had written something else. The wheel of time began to turn. Faith gave way to pride, and the swords of courage began to rust. The pages of history bear witness. When a nation loses its soul, its palaces may still stand, but its swords are broken. This is the story of a great civilization, a nation that once set out to illuminate the world with knowledge, but lost its own light along the way. This is not just the story of Andalusia, it is the story of every nation that breaks its own sword.